The time is set. Hello. I suppose I am online right now. I'm super sorry for the delay. Of course, there were some technical problems, but this is online radio. So we have a lot of things going on here. I'm super excited for this first radio show of mine, and it's all in the huge project of Not Art. And just for fun's sake, I start with this here.
Do you want to taste the...
Stop. Please, stop. Stop. Stop talking. I'm going to stop you right there. Stop.
What?
I mean, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, you want to taste the Vibe radio.
Oh, I mean, I want to taste Vibe radio. Do you?
This is IBB Radio, and this is my first time on the live IBB radio show. So, first of all, of course, I want to thank a lot the IBB, the Instituto Buena Vista, for letting me have this experience. Who am I? I am Fiona Kelly, or Crazy Kelly, or Filhona Nona. You can find me on Facebook with this name written on the website of the IBB radio. Or I am the SeaE spider, and I love a lot to knot my webs. I love not art. So what is this of kind of art, not art? Not art is actually, it's not about art. It is to knot connections, to knot the lines, and therefore to connect through art. And when I say lines, I mean a lot of things, but I do mean also the real fiber, the fabric of the lines. And I love as well the languages and the words, and line comes from linea, Latin, which means linen, flax, which really was used to make out of the fabric, out of the fibers of the plant, the flax, a line. So they could make really a line. They could draw a line, or they could measure as well, point A to B. And that's the connection. A line ist nie allein. A line was something I once said in an exhibition. A line alone is never only a line. Because for me, these lines are so much more than just a vision of some scription somewhere. It's a dot, it's connecting dot A to dot B. So we have a reality on dot A and a reality on dot B, which is suddenly connected. And also, this line is always made by someone or something. Some presence was there and left some trace of life, either a human being making a mark or an animal, but also a line on a rock is also a presence of time, of heat, maybe of salt, of the temperatures, the climate. So it's always something there, and this strikes me so much. I am a lot connected by this too, to notice all these different presences around me. And talking about this, maybe through the microphone you can hear it. I'm not alone in this beautiful studio here. We are here with my lovely partner Gio as well, and the very lovely and cute Kiran. So maybe, we never know what will happen, but maybe those two will come more into the game as well. Now, as this is a radio show with a live audience I cannot see, it's very exciting for me. And I want to play some songs as well. Unfortunately, the first song I can't, because we had this a technical problem, so this is not to be heard. But there will be some other songs soon. Now, what else will I say on this show? Let me just make a short introduction after this title explanation of the knot art. I will continue explaining a little bit about the knot art and about my work, and then going through the songs, I will come finally to a kind of open atelier. Because I want to open up my atelier, I want to share with you the point of work I am on right now, and to explain how this process is going on, and how also through improvisation a lot things happen, and how it will evolve and develop more and more. And maybe we will have other shows as well in which you then can notice the development of this process. For now, there are no guests. I wanted to invite some guests, but it was a little bit too shorthand. So that's why I have simply decided to make the show basically about my work. So sorry for that. It's totally about me now. But then also you know the host, and then you know how things will, how I am open and how things will change afterwards. So Kiran is already very much enjoying. Thank you, Kiran. Coming back to knot art. So it's the art to knotting, making knots, connecting lines, connecting realities. I'm really totally honoring the wide contexts of life. Context, again, is a very nice word, because it's con, again, from Latin, meaning together, and texts comes also from tessere, weaving, textum, a fabric, actually a woven structure. So it is weaving things all together, the context. And I am not only weaving the lines, but I'm much more actually interested in weaving the lives of people, but also the non-human world around us together. That's why I have decided to really literally start weaving, and weaving only with natural fibers, to connect with the plants and to see the broad variety of plants and what they can give us. And that as well is another concept of convolution. I like this very much. It is actually a concept of mathematics. It's a formula to measure how much one wave is transformed just by moving together with another wave. You can measure this. There is a formula. I'm not so good with maths, so I don't understand it totally. But the poetics of this for me is so strong, because I think we have evolved a lot. We have a lot of focus on the evolution, and we should evolve always and always, and it's very individualistic for me. So I think we are heading for a convolution. How can we be transformed by the others? Con, again, together. Volvere is to move. So how can we move and be moved, be changed by the others, instead of only having this eye on yourself? Twist and turn, we move around, we come and go again. I perceive my nodding head, and not my new impressions. I love stories. I love to store stories. I love to dive into stories and connect elements, knot for knot for knot for knot. And now I wanted to let you hear another song I have made the first song actually, for a performance, which was or which is called Under the Sea, Under the Sea. And it's about one story of a woman who lives down, 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 deep, deep, deep below, there where the earth meets the water. She lives there with all this massive weight of the water upon her. So she is really pushed into the earth. She's dragging herself, but she, deep down there, also receives the new life of the seeds that coming up, and she protects it with her body, so the huge massive pressure of the water don't disturb the new life, but she protects it so it can grow up and find the sun above. But unfortunately I can't let you hear the song right now, but it's an improvisation song in which I was working with Olaf Giesbrecht in Berlin, with different layers of voices coming to symbolize the different layers of the sea. And then deep down, then she starts to sing. I am a sea spider. I've told you in the beginning, the knot art is a sequence of this. And the starting point or the starting idea of this I have captured in another poem or kind of song as well, which I will perform now live. Weaving the wind into the water, creating waves, creating waves. Weaving the wind into the water, creating lines of sea, creating the lines of the sea, creating the texture of the sea, creating the texture of the sea, creating texts of sea, creating texts of sea, creating isles of text in the sea, creating isles of text of the sea, creating the textiles of the sea, creating the textiles out of sea. I'm a weaver, like my grandpa, producing textiles out of lines. I'm a spider, a sea spider, connecting lines, connecting lives, connecting lines, connecting lands between the seas, connecting lives between the seas, connecting lives on lands through seas, connecting. So cirandeiro, vou cirandar, vou pra beira da praia, vou no balanço do mar, vou convidar meu amor para as estrelas contar. Vou pedir à lua pra nos poder namorar. Connecting, creating my wide world web. Connecting, creating my wild world web. Connecting, creating my wild, wide water world sea spider web. With fragile lines of threads, with drops of gold and drops of salt, with fragile lines of air to give it breath, to make it move. With fragile lines of threads, with drops of gold and drops of salt, with fragile lines of air to give it breath, to make it move. Connecting. I'm a spider, a sea spider, a surfing spider. I'm riding high on waves so deep, connecting caves and mountains steep. So that's in honor of a couple of people, and that's an example of how, for me, I connect the lives through the lines of the texts and the images of the sea. My grandpa really was a weaver, and he really was also trading flax, the linen. And the Portuguese song, the cirandeiro, in between, is to honor my first teacher of capoeira in Sao Paulo, where I was living. And this is also a link to my huge connection with Brazil. And the nature, of course. Now, with this sea spider connecting all these lives, all these stories, the sea spider, you can't see it because I always play with the writing as well. But the sea spider, I write SeaE, a mix between sea to sea and sea of the sea, the water. My sea spider is blind. She does not see the mainstream images, the huge broadcasting billboards all over the place. She's blind. She perceives through her super sensitive, hairy body. And this is also scientifically called the trigobotria. So through the vibration on her skin and on the web, she notices who or what is around her. And she moves through the web with these vibrations. And that, again, the vibration brings me back to the audio, to the musicality of my work as well, which is one of the base of my work. Now, Under the Sea, this song is really also weaving these different lines together. And Under the Sea also I made, or my focus on the women of this project, Water Women, is, or Witch Eyes Water Women is actually the complete title, is because suddenly I was wondering about my own mother, my own grandmothers, my grand-grandmother. I have one picture of one of my grand-grandmothers, and realizing that all these mothers all have mothers. So, and I really tried to imagine, like, wow, how many mothers must have lived before I am here? Every mother had a mother. And it was like suddenly I had this image of a huge sea, and every wave is a life of one of the mothers, and every mother gave birth to another baby mother, and they all gave their energy, their love, their lives just for this new baby to live a good, maybe even a better life than they have. And at the moment I had this image, I myself was not a mother yet. So I felt like, wow, I am the last generation here on the shore. So all these lives of all these mothers, they have lived, they have given all their energy and love for me to be here right now. And I have this power in my back coming to the land to realize, to create what I want to do, because they can't do it anymore. And they have given everything for me to be here. And now, since September, I am a mother myself, and this image again becomes totally different for me one more time. And I'm very thrilled to continue to work on this. And I have made another song to illustrate one of these women I have collected, because I want to capture the power of these women that are not seen by the mainstream, but are forgotten or are told by mistake. So since 2017, I am looking for myths, stories about women who live with, under, above, by, at the water, especially the sea. And to bring these old stories back to life again, I make small performances to bring it to the women, especially, to talk about these images, these forgotten images, or especially also the ugly side of these women, because most of the times they do something bad, or they turn out to become a witch, or have a spell on, especially on men. And I want to question this again. And so I wanted to make this sea of women, this sea of voices in a performance, to make the presence of these women in Berlin in 2020. But unfortunately, then it was the COVID year, so it was not possible anymore to do it. And then I changed the project to make my own song of these sea of voices. But of course, I could not do the 200 song voices or like more. I started to make the song with 8 voices, thinking of the sea spider who is collecting all these stories with her 8 eyes, with her 8 legs. So it was like fair enough and a lot, but manageable to do. And for each of the voices, I looked for a myth, a story, and then to make the voice of the song accordingly to her character of the story, of the myth. And then later on, I made a dress to represent these 8 voices as well, because I wanted to bring the nature closer to the human beings. But in Berlin, where I was living, there was no sea, so I wanted to bring the nature. So that's the moment where I decided to look for the plants. And I looked for 8 different plants, different ropes and lines, to make different kind of knot techniques to represent the women and the nature and the art of knotting as well. And the first one of these is SeaE, and it's a Selkie actually, and her song, you can hear it on the YouTube as well. But I see I am already running really fast into time. I could easily do another session. So I will skip all the other songs, not all the other songs. I will let you hear directly the song of the 8 voices. So you have an image of this, and then I will let you hear, because I do want to share a little bit of my open atelier. So this is the song with the 8 voices, the first one. these are the 8 voices, and the story is this. The first woman starts to shout her "ah" on the rocks in front of the sea, and 7 other sisters answer her. And when I was here last year on Curaçao, on the north coast, I stood on the rocks next to the turtle trail, and I had totally this feeling of this song again. And that's when I decided I want to make another song and here. So now, as we are here with the little baby as well, we wanted to do this again. So we went back and discovering now on this stage here in Curaçao, the IBB, the Instituto Buena Vista. I have met so many lovely women, actually, as also men, of course, but also women. And a new idea came up to me, namely to ask them to give me some reaction upon my new song line I have written, and it's a lullaby for Kiran, which is a comforting song. And this is the second voice, because for me the second voice of my 8 voices is this deep sound, the mother deep, deep, deep down below. And so it's a comforting lullaby, and I have had already some reactions of some of these women, but now I see the time is actually running out. So this will be for next time, I suppose. I hope I have not overflooded you with too much details, but at the other hand, it's in the details that I love to work. So I hope you have picked up something for you. You can check out also my website. It's also Super Chaos website, but you can find your information through. It's www.fiona-kelly.com. And I hope to tune in your houses again one more time, another time. And just for the fun's sake,
we are IBB Radio.
So thank you one more time for listening, and up to the next time.